Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So we're going to be doing a session in this tank, the T26E4 Super Pershing. And man, yeah, this tank, I love this tank on some days and I hate it on others. Sometimes I am performing very well in it, and other times we're doing like 2 shots of damage and we're getting wrecked. And you know, you would say that this is the way the game is looking, but this is one of the only tanks that I seem to have trouble with, and I really just think that it is the mobility. So I have it set up with the turbo in the mobility slot, and what this does is it gives it 5 kilometers an hour to top forward speed, 3 to reverse, and then you're also getting 10% to engine power, which helps your torque, helps you get going a little quicker. And then on top of that, in the field modifications, I'm doing this, which gives you better hull traverse and gun traverse speed, and then there's something here that also gives you more reverse speed. And yeah, so that's the way I'm running it. I don't know what it is, guys. I just find it very difficult to play this tank sometimes. I feel like people know the weak spots too much, and I just feel like it's too slow and it's not very snappy. You know, whenever I go to take like snapshots on people, I feel like the accuracy of this thing trolls me. Like 0.35 dispersion is not the worst, it just feels very derpy to me. So I also run the improved rotational mechanism on it, and then in the scouting slot we have optics. I chose to run optics just so it's easier to mark. And yeah, my crew is looking pretty good. We're going to go ahead and run some boosters here because I do have premium currently, and you know, we have Chuck Norris in this thing, and I mean, we have like 3 skill crew. We have brother in arms, we have some concealment, mostly repairs, situational awareness, recon. Like, this tank is set up pretty good in my opinion. It's just for some reason or another I don't seem to be the best in it. So we're going to do a session on it, and I'm going to really make the video to also help myself so I can look back and see maybe what I did wrong. But let's go ahead and get into the games. The one good thing about this tank is that it has preferential matchmaking, which, if you don't know what this means, it means it never sees tier 10s. And in my opinion, I feel like this tank needs preferential matchmaking, because if it goes up against tier 10s, I mean, this whole entire turret just becomes useless. I mean, people will pen you at 400 meters away, right? So, you know, if you're going to see tier 10s, you might as well just hide in the corner and cry. That's basically what I'm saying. So, I'm going to turn down the game volume a little bit. It's getting pretty loud. Let's go like here. And here we go. So what we're going to do, and this thing almost has to be played like a heavy, but what I found, guys, is that when I try and get too close too fast, oftentimes what happens is I lose way too much HP way too fast. And the reason for this is because this tank is too slow. It can't back up to get into cover as quick as you would think. And also the side armor is very, very weak on this thing. So if you're ever going to face up against any enemies, don't side scrape. Don't try and do any of that. Just try and put the front of the tank towards the enemy as much as you can. So if you're going to poke like this, like, don't even go like this. I would poke like at the least amount of angle, like this, even a little more maybe, as long as you're not hitting the building, and poke like so. And what I'm going to do is wait maybe to see someone who's not suspecting a shot here, expecting a shot I should say, and okay, so right now I'm already seeing that the field is going to be wide open. So look, this is what we're going to do here. I'm going to knock this tree like so. And then I'm going to knock this one like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit here in this corner and we're just going to play like a TD. I don't mind playing like this because with this tank you have to be, like I said, very, very careful. And with these teams, like, look at this, it's 13 minutes and 30 seconds and we've already lost the entire field. So what I'm going to do is sit here, kind of just wait. At this point, it's tough to get out of here. Hopefully we will win kind of this line here, like the 6th line, and this way, you know, I can go ahead and freely back up and such when I need to. And this is the problem I face with this tank, right, guys? So you're already seeing it. Like, where am I supposed to go? I can't really run away from here because, you know, I mean, if I back up, I'm going to be hitting this line right here. So, yeah, and we're never going to hit this guy without the APCRs. I mean, this is... Phew. Wow, they already actually hit the even 90s. That's good. I think that's going into the STRV. And yeah, here we go. So we've already lost. We've already... Jesus, man. Alright, so we've already lost this. And at this point, like, I didn't think the even 90 would be able to take care of those people that fast. What I'm going to do is come back. And, like, people will... A lot of other people will probably play this thing differently than me. Maybe they're a lot better at, you know, playing it hold down and such. But to me, like, I just get wrecked. Every time I try to play this thing hold down, people whack me in these tubes and then, you know, in the top of the tank, the, you know, commander's hatch and whatnot. And I just find that I can never have a good game trying to play hold down, guys. So what I like to do is just try and play this thing almost like very passively. And right now, no one is safe here anymore because we've lost this entire thing. So at this point, we need to kind of just sit back here and wait. Because I don't want to get flanked. I bet somebody is going to complain that I should be up front, but you know. Even 90 shouldn't be able to pen us until I spot him. Like, he really shouldn't have shots on me like that yet. But we do have a Scorpion, Type 59 Progetto. Like, look at all these tanks, man. Like, this just scares me. But we're going to do the best we can, guys, with what we have. I mean, this is a stomp. There's no way we were going to be able to do anything with this. So here we go. There's Scorpion. And at this point, all we're trying to do right now is to stay alive just long enough so that we can get a few shots of damage off. And this is the issue with this tank, guys. This is the issue that I have, is that I find that every time I get into a game, it's like I'm just trying to get a couple shots off before I'm dead, right? And whenever I play tanks that are like this, I tend to hate them because they just don't have the mobility to really get away and be able to, you know, find an area like we're in right now, actually, to be able to get a few shots off before you actually die. And look at this. I mean, not even 5 minutes into this game, and we're pretty much the last ones alive already. So, here comes Even. I'm going to smack a shot into the Even because I know he's the fastest person here. Sta's here. Sta's going to flank. We're going to get one into him. I'm going to pay attention to the WZ and the people that are in front of me at this point. And get a shot into the Type. And that's the game. So 1,149 damage, 371 assists. We loaded APCRs there at the end to make sure I got as much damage as I could. And look at this, guys. This is what these are the problems that I face in this tank, because whenever I go to play it, I find, like I was just saying, that it's like a struggle just to get like 1,000 damage in the tank or something like that, right? So this was kind of matchmaking. I think if maybe we were able to hit one shot on the Even at the beginning, it might have been a little bit better, but yeah, I mean, when we're 3rd by experience and 5th by damage in a game like this, like that, actually that wasn't too bad, right? Even 90 did a very good job. He did 3,000 spotting, 2,400 damage, and look at this. So, again, this is why the Even 90 is so hard to mark right now, because so many people are playing it, and you have good players playing it, and look at this. This guy just did, like, what, 4,500 combined or something like that. I mean, that's just crazy, man. So, good game on his part, and let's go ahead and get into another game, guys. I think we did make still a decent amount of coin from that, did we? 21k, so it's not terrible. The clan boosters aren't on. I just realized that. How many people do we have on? Okay. So I am a combat officer, so I am allowed to put on clan reserves. So we're going to go ahead real quick, guys, if you don't mind, and activate clan boosters, and we will just go ahead and say boosters on, fellas. Let's get into the second game, guys. My eyes are very tired, so if you guys see one of my eyes kind of go a little lazy, that's all it is. I don't have a lazy eye per se, but sometimes I just don't get enough sleep. And I, you know, play a lot of tanks, and my job is looking at a computer screen for 8 hours, so often what happens is sometimes one of my eyes will like start to do this. Don't let it trip you out. Okay. Let's see. Good thing this is tier 8. Okay, so in a game like this on Serene Coast, it's an easy decision what we're going to do, right? We're going to play on the 1 line, and we're going to try and play hold down. Now, what I'm going to do here is load APCRs from the start, and then if I don't need them, I used to do this the other way around, right? Like normally you would start with APs, and then you would shoot APCRs if the need arises. What I do now is I load APCRs, and then if I know that I don't need them, I will load APs. If I'm in a premium, I will do that, because you know how you make coin in premiums, so it's not as bad, right? So that's what I'll do from the start. I think really the only person we're going to see that might be an issue is like the T29 or something like that, but even in that case, I don't know if 258 will be enough for the turret anyway. It shouldn't be. You should probably be able to block that anyway. So here we go. These are some good spots by Charioteer or something like that. I don't think the T50 spotted these people over here, but I'm just going to do one of these to make sure people see me, like help, you know, like I got to take this position. Alright, here we go. So these are easy shots on the STRV-81 for me. I'm going to let this guy just go ahead and shoot me, honestly. That one bounced. And I just want to be cautious of this, right? You got to like keep an eye. Yeah. This guy's actually pretty good hold down. I didn't know this tank was this good hold down. Let this guy overextend a bit. And this guy can poke my weak spots, right? So I'm trying to get him to overextend, like so. And this is how you work people here. Now he's going to pull down, and this is what I do. Like, you have to be good. If you're going to play on these ridge lines, what you have to do is you almost have to lure, is the word I'm going to use, lure people in. And see, now I don't really have a good shot at him, so I'm going to back down. He shoots, and now I have the first shot opportunity, so I'll pull back up. I'm going to let him take that shot. Try and take a shot here. Tiger 1 is here. Let this guy poke up, and we're just going to click back here, let them know, like, look, STRV-81 is overextending. Tiger is now here. Put that shot into him. Tiger got a shot into us, most likely in the hatch area. I'm just going to do this, try and block that hatch. Okay, he takes a shot. STRV takes a shot. We're going to come up. Try and get one into the Tiger. It bounces. And this is where this tank is doing pretty well, right? Side of the turret, that's an easy shot for me. And I know we are loading APCRs, guys, but honestly with this tank, I'm so bad in this tank, that's what I decided to load. I'm going to change my angle a little bit, come this way. I think we can get a better angle on the STRV from here. This. We bounce him again. And yeah, this is what I mean about the accuracy too. Like, these shots should be going in, I like to think, right? Like you would think. Alright, good, we have Tiger here now. Try and let this guy overextend a little bit. Bounces again, like, unbelievable, guys. Like, even with the APCRs, you know. Another ricochet. STRV gets a shot. Try and let these guys overextend a little bit again. And yeah, do you guys see what I mean with this tank? Like, it's just so trollish. Like, I feel like I should have 1500 damage by now easily, and it's just not the case, right? Like, it's just not the case. Kind of get one of those moving shots on him. And now what I'm going to do, right? I think I'm safe to do this. I'm looking at the map, and it's only the G-Sword and SU-100Y. I don't want to take a shot from the SU-100Y, but I don't think he can pen the turret from here. I'm trying to use this Tiger as a little bit of cover. Another bounce on the STRV. Man, if I had $1 for every time we bounce this guy, you know. Alright, we're going to load APs now. Dude, I'm going to lose so much coin from this game. There's the SU-100Y. Focus the shot on him. should have went in. And yeah, this is where this tank, like top tier, this tank is going to perform pretty well. M6 is up here. I think we'll have shots if we do this. He's probably behind the rock or something. But still, even on the STRV, how many shots with the APCRs do you think, you know, we aimed at his mid-lower plate there, and still, like, nothing, guys. Like, just everything was a bounce or a miss, and this is what I mean about this tank. It's just very temperamental is really the word I'm going to use, and I just cannot have consistent games in it. I find that I either have good games or bad games. There's no in between. There's no, you know, occasionally there's a great game, but there's no, like, you know, mediocre games. Like, maybe you can call the first one mediocre. I consider that kind of a bad game, but you can call it what you want. We're going to push into this M6. I can bully this guy very easily, but so can the rest of the team. Let's see if we can get the kill shot here. We do. And now we're going to push in. I think, personally, okay, I was going to say the G-Store is probably here, or he's in this area, like K9 or whatever. But it's fine. I'm going to run this way. And I'm actually going to try and get behind this guy. The G-Store is a very powerful tank. You have to really be careful with these things. But I think that these guys are probably going to take a lot of the HP away from the heavies over there. And I think our best bet at getting more damage this game is to YOLO this way. Now, TVP is here. I'm going to poke like so on this guy, keeping my front plate towards him pretty much the whole time. Right, this is what I want to do. Do this. We're going to ram him. And I don't want this guy getting my side plate. Turn. I'm going to prepare my track. I'm going to turn. And then we're going to push into the G-Store this way. We should have this guy's backside. Okay, missed a shot. It's fine. Okay. And that's the game. 2481 damage, 263 assists. I would consider this in between a good to great game for me. 2 kills. And this is where this tank is performing well. When you're bottom tier, or I'm sorry, top tier, you know, it will play hold down pretty well. But you saw, even against the STRV, which I would consider not the greatest tank, you know, in my opinion, I'm not really a fan of that tank, but we got one blind shot, 2690 damage. But against this tank, like, this guy did very well too. You know, props to him. Yeah, he looks like a pretty good player, 55% win rate. But even against this guy, like, how many shots did we take at that middle to lower plate and bounce, bounce, bounce? On the Tiger, flat shots on the Tiger, 258 millimeters of penetration, ricochet, bounce. And this is the problem I have with this tank. It's just sloppy. You know, it's just very sloppy, and to me it feels almost like similar to like a KV2 or something when you're trying to aim and it's just, the bloom is just too big no matter what you do. I've run V-Stab on this thing, it hasn't changed a thing. And even with swapping V-Stab for the IRM, we're only dropping 10% dispersion. So, and before that, I wasn't even actually running, what's it called, field modifications on this thing. So let's go ahead and get into the game. You know, we'll probably play maybe one more after this one, depending on how, if this is like a 15-minute game, then I'll probably call it there. But I want to show you guys this tank. I think I've done one other session on it before, but I just find that every time I go back to this tank, you know, I like keeping it around because it plays different. You know, it's not like your standard medium tank. But I'm going to say this. Let's see, tier 8 on Corellia. I'm going to say this. Every time I come back to this tank, guys, I have a big issue with basically just trying to deal damage. And, you know, you could say what you want about it. I've been trying to 2-mark this thing. I'm at over 100 battles now, so we should be seeing a pretty accurate percentage. But I really need to get that MOE add-on that people have. But, yeah, I just think, like, you know, if I struggle with the tank, that it's something wrong with me. Sometimes it is the matchmaking, but every time I come back to this tank, I just seem to have a problem with it. And for whatever reason, you know, I don't have that problem with, say, like the Mod 1. Like, I love the Mod 1, right? The Mod 1 is a very powerful tank. I do a little bit less damage with it just because its expected damage isn't as high, right? Like compared to this thing, because this thing's like a heavy, so you seem to be brawling with it a lot more, so the expected damage is a little higher. Like I would want to get probably 1600 a game in this thing. I'd be happy with in the 1400s with the prototype, the first prototype. But again, with this thing, it's so trollish. I'd rather be in the mod one, and I feel that if I'm struggling with the tank, the best thing to do is to do a session on it. And, you know, hopefully you guys can learn something as, you know, just as much as I can. So we have Renegade coming down the mid, and this is a really dumb move on this guy's part. I'm very surprised with this. People here should have shots on him, I'd like to think. They have the hill. The thing with this tank, also, and a perfect example on Corellia is, in the mod 1, I'd probably be here, and I would have already been dead trying to fight off the T-44 and stuff. In this tank, it's not fast enough to make it over to the hill, so we end up playing here almost like a heavy. Right? So, just something to note. Here's Luva. Tough shot. And I'm not spotted. I thought I would be taking that shot, but I'm not. So, I don't think they have a lot of forces here. That's just my opinion right now, because not a lot of people are spotted. And Karn is pushing to the corner. Let's see what he lights, if he lights anything at all. Yeah, Bliss has shots here. I don't want to block him. It's kind of risky for me to poke in front of him, I think. T-44. Spotted. Alright, I'm gonna back down because the hill doesn't have shots, but like if anybody in the mid is there lurking like a light tank. Is there a light tank in the mid? I don't even think, no. There wasn't even any lights this game, which is wild. I find a lot of times, guys, when I don't play lights, that there's no lights on the enemy teams. Like, I feel like people play a lot more lights nowadays, but maybe it's not the case. Maybe it's really not the case, because this is, I would swear, in every session I have that where I'm not playing a light tank, there's at least one game where there's no lights. Like, no lights on the enemy team, or our team, you know? Which is pretty wild, but... I hate pushing this. T77, RHM, yeah. Like, STRV, WZ, I don't want to push this, man. I don't want to push this. I think what I'm going to do is sit, because this is encounter, right? And they have the hill. I think our best bet is to basically be where the Karn is at this point. I think we deployed well, other than the hill. If we can hold off the hill, like this might be a really low damage game, but if we can hold off the hill, what's the best way to do this? Like, this tank is so slow, it's just very difficult to do this crap. Watch the side shot. At least I'm getting some spotting damage on him. I feel like the best way to do this is probably get somewhere around this area, because they're gonna try and come from here and like from up here, and I think we can pull in here to get safe. And I want to use my view range because I have like 490 view range. So, all right, got a tracking shot. I'm gonna load APCRs. So much APCRs in this tank. Another tracking shot's fine. Here. And this is why rushing to the cap is not always the game-winning play, right? You will see this on this map and others as well. Miravanka, you know.
The shell bounced. Let me try my fist.
Okay.
Can they call that armor?
A tracking shot. Come on, SU. There you go. Alright. I know we're spotted here, so yeah, T77 is here. And this is what I'm afraid of, but because we have this, I think we'll be okay. right here. There's T77. We need shots in here. Okay. Watching the T77. This SU is going to get in my way, man. It's really going to suck.
One of our tracks is damaged.
See, we're blind. This Scorpion needs to spot something. We're going to be in trouble. I thought this would be a decent location, but I'm wrong because they have bushes over here. Okay, shot to the FV. WZ's pushing. I don't want to YOLO this. I don't think it's a good idea. Probably should have stayed up in A1, but it, you know, just not being in A1 gave me shots on this, easy shots on the Skoda. Just trying to stay like as hidden as I can in here. Okay, shot to the Skoda. Okay. Scorpion's here. He's dead. Missed. Trying not to get whacked by this WZ. I want one more clean shot.
We damaged him.
Face hug this guy. That's all we can do, guys. 25, 42 damage, 367 assists, and these games aren't bad, but these are not game-winning positions that I'm taking here. We're loading a lot of APCRs. I'm trying to improve my score in this thing because yesterday's session was pretty bad in it, and it's looking okay right now, but these are not game-winning, situations that I'm putting myself in. We're still making coins even with all the APCRs. So this game, we were second by damage, top by experience, and these games are okay, but keep in mind these are also tier 8 games. So, and yeah, occasionally when you're face hugging enemies like that, like even the WZ, I think he shot AP, but that shell went into this plate right here, or he shot me in the turret, and that's where the armor is effective, is when you square up with enemies. You gotta come straight at them, and occasionally it will bounce, but if these people start loading APCRs, man, forget it, right? So, we're gonna play one more, and what do we have? Tier 8 matchmaking again, which is phenomenal. And here's what I'm thinking. I think we can play this thing on the, what is it? The K line. The K line in the last year or so, I think it was, they, like edited this map, Berlin, and from this area, I think we can get to a good hold down spot. So we're going to do that. hopefully it's a good game to end off this session. And at some point, hopefully I can 2-mark this thing. At the end of this game, we will see what the mark is at. Hopefully it's a good enough game. And if I can stay consistent in this thing, I will 2-mark it, and then I might even trade it in like next year when the trading comes again. So I'm going to try and keep APs loaded. I want to give you guys a game where we're not spamming APCRs, but really in this tank, I just feel like it's necessary. The pen on the standards is pretty good, but it's not great. And yeah, turbo really helps this thing out a lot, especially in the mobility slot. It's just when you're going uphill or through like heavy areas, that's where it really sucks. That might have actually went in. It was close, wasn't it? Nope, not close enough. Alright, Leo and TVP are both going to take this hold down position, so I'm going to go right here. I feel like this guy's going to poke, right? Depending on who they send this way, I might try and move up. This could be risky, but I'm going to try it. I think it might give us shots at the EBR. No. From what I'm seeing, only the Scorpion is unlit, and the Panther, I was thinking maybe the Panther would come this way, but honestly, there's nobody here, I don't think. There might be someone here, but I think if I can get here, I'll be safe. There's the Panther, okay. What are the chances that one of these TDs is out here? I'm gonna let the TVP figure that out for me. Doesn't seem like it's the case. Gotta watch this. Yeah, E4 is getting shots. So once we make this play, we have to do this. Tracking shot, we're just facing right towards him. Okay. And from here we have to be careful. Like, did you see? That was a pretty aggressive play that I made, but we're actually safe from people in here. Like the Conj, I felt like he should easily get shots there, the E4, but they send a lot of people north, so that's the reason why I made that play. Yeah, the Scorpion is unlit and they have Conj, and I bet you he's sitting right here. Yep. I was about to take a blind shot there. Okay. And did the Scorpion get lit? Yeah, that's him there. Okay, let's push. 1,050 damage, 351 assists. These games are going way better than my average game was yesterday, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna load HEs just in case yeah, it's not even gonna matter at this point. Alright, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go this way. I kinda want a shot at the cat, but from here we can easily flank heavies, and as long as I stay behind this ridge line, I shouldn't get hit from people in this like window thing over here. If you guys know what I'm talking about, like in here, yeah. So if we get the backsides of these heavies, shouldn't need APCRs. And we have a mound right here that'll keep us relatively hold down. I'm gonna try and get as close to this. I don't want this PP to spot me until the last minute, you know. Okay. Alright. At 12. Alright, I don't really care about the arty. Someone else can hit him. I'm just going to square up with this guy. I don't really care.
Like a fist through a wall. The enemy is hit.
Yeah, we have all these guys' backsides. Oh my god, this is like arousing, man. You know what I mean? Okay. We're going to square up with this guy. That's the game. Let's ram this guy. Okay. Still get the assist damage for it. 1993 damage, 923 assist. So surprisingly, these games were actually very good, guys. It could just be that my session yesterday was very unlucky, but I think we did actually a phenomenal job. I'm very happy with this session, and we will put this tank aside for now. Right now I'm averaging 1603 damage in it, 54% win rate over 114 battles. That was a pretty good game, but like we stomped these guys, right? I got 923 assist damage, 116k, and yeah, not what I wanted. Statistics. So currently we're averaging 1,603 damage and 570 assist over 114 battles. 80.81% on the mark. So if I play this way, you know, 2-marking this thing would be easy, but I think this was a somewhat lucky session as well. I mean, we got tier 8s like 3 times, so that was pretty good. Made 281k even with all the gold, and our average over 4 battles was 2,093 damage, 579 assist. That's about 26 something combined, 2,600 something combined, I believe. And yeah, we're playing pretty well in this thing. 50% victory rate, but I think we did the best we could in the situations we were put in. So I'm very happy with this, guys. 2,000 damage, I mean, that's phenomenal. And if you were going to play this tank, I recommend setting it up for mobility the way I have it set up. You can look at skill for LTU index, but honestly, I love running turbo on this thing. He doesn't recommend turbo. I like it, but that's my playstyle. You guys know that I like speed. Speed is what gets you to places to be able to like out angle enemies and get just different angles, and you know, be able to get side shots and stuff. You know, so I even try to play my mediums like lights, but you know, it's just not the case with this thing. Still though, I like being able to get to positions quicker, and this thing is just a slug. It is a complete turd. You know, it needs more engine power to call itself a medium. I still consider it a heavy, and that's kind of how you have to play it. Square up with your enemies, guys. Straight at them. Don't try and angle. The side plates are weak. That's it. So, hope you enjoyed this one in the T26E4. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Bye-bye now.